saw the photograph. He blew his mind out in a car. He didn't notice that the lights had changed. A crowd of people stood and stared. They'd seen his face before. Nobody was really sure.
What lengths would you go to find your missing pet? One woman is willing to pay thousands of dollars. Welcome back. Well, what lengths would you go to find your missing cat or dog? One BC woman who's spending her summer in the Okanagan is willing to pay thousands of dollars to whoever helps her find her cat. And while that may seem unusual to most, to Barbara Cook, it's nothing out of the ordinary to get back what she calls a family member. We've all seen them before, posters offering monetary rewards to find a missing person. But it's not often you see this, a significant reward being offered to anyone who finds a missing cat.
I'm very desperate. She is my family, and I know I'm not a crazy cat lady. I just
Radio Free Canada has been reporting the real news for almost a month now. We're perfecting our on-air presence, and we're starting to report what's important to Canadians, as opposed to sticking to a policy of, if it bleeds, it leads. Sensationalism and over-dramatization are the hallmarks of CHBC News right now, and they have dwindled into a realm of irrelevance, where all they do is scare senior citizens, because senior citizens are the only people who watch CHBC News anymore. We know that there's a better way to do things. There's a sign going up saying, "Stop Harper." Stop Harper's asbestos policy. We've recorded it right here at Radio Free Canada, but this poster was never put on CHBC News. Right now, the Harper government is spearheading a campaign to ship asbestos out of the country, even though it's being removed from the Parliament buildings because it's a carcinogen. Asbestos is not being listed as a poison in the Canadian government because they want to ship it to third world countries and cause cancer there. This has to be stopped. We have news on how technology can change things for the better, and CHBC has news on how everything is getting worse. This has got to end.
And so that'll be my down payment, and I'll just transfer it right over to whoever brings back Kitty.
More important to get your cat back than get a house?
Absolutely. Absolutely. She's my family.
Kitty was wearing a pink collar with the name Whitney on it and has a tattoo in her ear. Cook has plastered her own vehicle with the missing posters and is canvassing the entire neighborhood.
It's an amazing story. You know, people put that kind of money for, to reward their missing cat, right?
Does it surprise you?
It does, yeah. It does for me.
People would do that for their children, and people do that for their cats because it's one in the family. It's not something I would say is surprising.
Cook is now hoping Kelowna residents can help in her search.
Salad greens and fish go very well together. And they grow very well together, too.
We're talking about 10,000 fish. We're talking about 1 million pounds of food residue, 300, 400, 500 yards of compost. I want to know, how did you do that here? You know, how did you make that happen on these 3 acres?
We're growing this kind of stuff. We're the largest
year-round producer in the state of Wisconsin and maybe one of the largest in the Midwest, and we're a nonprofit. So we're able to grow throughout the winter inside these greenhouses without heat by using the compost pile. On the one side, we've got 10,000 tilapia in there in warm water, and there's the heater that heats the water, that heats the entire greenhouse in the wintertime. And then we've got lake perch grown in cold water over here in this greenhouse. So we're taking, say, 3,000 square feet and turning it into 4,500 square feet of growing space by using vertical growing. We're able to grow these, and these fish runs. One pump operates this entire system. We lift water up, gravity takes it this way on both levels, and it drops back into the system. So this is a very efficient way of growing food. This is ag of the future. Got fish on the bottom, you pump water up and let it matriculate through beds and cleanse them back into the systems down below.
Alan is refining the process with technical help from Fred Binkowski, an aquaculture specialist at the University of Wisconsin Sea Grant Institute.
3,000 pounds of market-sized fish.
You know, the greenhouse model is fairly unique for aquaculture. Not many people.
Flows across this bed. This has so much filtration in it. Flows across this bed that has the pea gravel and the watercress. If you ever want to try some watercress, here's a good place to snap a little bit off.
We use the plants to filter out the waste.
Right.
Plants, soil, and pebbles make natural filters.
Flows across there. There's one pump you can see down there that pumps it up to these two levels, flows through this bed of watercress and underneath those tomatoes, and then back in there to the perch. Okay? It's a really ingenious system for raising tilapia, which is an African fish that can grow in high density. So the idea is that in a 55-gallon drum, you can raise one fish per gallon of water. So they're saying within a year, you'll be able to grow 50 pounds of protein with 3 55-gallon drums. One which contains fish, the other one which contains stones, and the third one which contains this stuff here, which is duckweed, which is a food. It's tilapia are vegetarians, and duckweed is about 40% protein. It's excellent food. These 3 barrels are all filled with water, and they're connected with PVC pipe, and the water recirculates between them all. And it's supposed to be a real healthy, efficient way of raising fish. And this is the latest one we built. And I would call it state-of-the-art, except they actually get simpler as we go along. There's what tilapia look like. That one right on top there is about the size. There's a really good one there laying on the edge. That's about the size.
Episodes, you will see our journey as we dive into everything from urban fish farming to reducing crime rates in the neighborhood. From job creation all the way to getting healthy food into the hands of everyday people. We are about sharing knowledge. We are searching the ends of the earth to find the most reproducible, low-tech, self-sustaining, high-yield methods of urban farming. And we're sharing it with you as we journey to build up our community here in the urban core. Stay tuned as we push the limits of small spaces, small budgets, and off-grid scenarios. See us try to grow 2,000 pounds of tilapia fish in a space smaller than your living room. Can we produce fish and vegetables in high yield, year-round, without high energy costs? Can we produce enough of our own energy on site with biogas produced from our fish waste and food scraps to run our urban farm? What about a third world country where the electricity is intermittent or non-existent? We love the grid, but could we live without it? Watch as we take this technology even lower as we get a prototype ready to go to India fall of 2011. We could feed the nations with duckweed. You feed the duckweed to the fish, you eat the fish, and it's all free. This stuff just multiplies. We're going to take this duckweed frozen and stick it in there just like it is, and the fish just love it. It grows about 40 times faster than corn. We come and harvest half of it off, come back in 2 days, and it's ready to harvest again. It'll be gone in about 30 seconds. Right now it's thawing. They're just eating it like mad. Can we produce all the feed for our livestock on site?
Come check this out. This here is our worm bin. It has about 20,000 worms in it. And this here is blended up food scraps, frozen, and we blend it up for a reason so they can eat a lot faster. These worms double every 3 months, and they eat their weight in food every day.
This is what we're after right here, guys. Worm poop. Super nutrient rich. We use it as part of our organic potting soil mix.
Could a half-acre plot in the inner city become self-sustainable and function off the grid?
These chickens will put 20 eggs a day.
Follow us as we construct an aquaponic, food-producing machine from everyday materials at a fraction of what you could buy it for. Here we are growing vegetables and fish together right in the water. This is a symbiotic relationship where the vegetables clean the water for the fish and the fish fertilize the vegetables, all without soil. And we don't waste anything. Every day we get a load of manure off these tanks where the fish waste gets settled out. We come with a bucket and we get a bunch of free fertilizer. Then we take the fish manure and pour it into the biodigester to create methane gas as it composts over the next 7 weeks. This gas can be burned to heat the greenhouse or put in a generator to create electricity. And what about the neighborhood question? Can we come together in the inner city and lower crime rates, create jobs, and nourish a seed for the future? Can we provide a better opportunity to the 13-year-old than the allure of fast money and the friendship found in a gang? Can we work together to grow our urban core into a place of hope for the hopeless? Here we purchased this rundown old school building on the block. Can we bring it back to life? Follow the story as we build on the potential and creativity of our youth. Follow us as we try to answer these tough questions as a neighborhood, grassroots style. These videos are made to empower. They are made to actually put the technology into your hands step by step. Can it be done?
We believe that you
are a part of the solution.
Stay tuned.
Sharing knowledge, feeding nations.
At Radio Free Canada, we're not going to use a policy of if it bleeds, it leads. We're going to make sure that there's an intellectual and intelligent approach to the problems facing society, because we know we have the solutions. There's no reason why 35,000 people should die every day just because it's not profitable to bring them food or medicine. We know that profit is not more important than people. We know that the unemployment rate is a lie. And we know for a fact that CHBC will not consistently and intellectually present the news or solutions in any way. What we have to do is gather together, so we have started the End the Fear campaign. On Sunday, September the 11th at 1 o'clock, we're going to start our campaign to end the fear. We're going to present speakers, musicians, artists, and all kinds of people just like you to start presenting the solutions that can really be obtained by us right here in the Okanagan Valley. We need you to join us. Because CHBC and other corporate news services only focus on what bleeds, we're not getting a true look at what society is. And right now, the Harper government is shipping poison overseas and hiring more police and building more prisons, even though the crime rate is going down. All of this because CHBC News and the like are over-dramatizing every little incident that they call the news. It's time to end the fear. It's time to grow up. We need you to join us on September 11th at 1 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon right here in Kelowna. We need you to join us at the sales and stand up against the insanity for logic, peace, and prosperity for everybody. It's time to end the fear. This is Radio Free Canada. I'm Darren Howard.